everybody. Just making sure my stream is going. Alright. Gonna wait a few minutes for people to show up. This will be my last stream today. Yeah, this will be my last stream today. And I'll go into the reasons why. It's for a few reasons, so it's not just one. So I hope to explain that. And this stream will be a little bit longer. I'm hoping to keep within like an hour or so time range. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start, so I don't take too much time. Alright, so good morning. It's 15 minutes before we have some CAD news coming out. The monetary policy report and the bank rate. It's expected to stay the same, so I don't know how much action we're going to see on the Canadian dollar today. But what I'm thinking that we may see some action if we don't see much at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe during the press conference at 11:15 a.m. So just have to hold tight and see what happens. So I'll be on here, obviously during the crude oil investments and the bank rate. So in doing this stream, so maybe we can talk about that, or at least see some action in the markets when that's taking place. All right. So as I mentioned before, this is the last stream that I'll be doing. And hold on a second. Let's push that over. Okay. Yeah, this will be the last stream I'm doing because so there's a couple of reasons that I can think of. One, this puts a lot of pressure on me, and I'm doing it all for free. I've been out there, putting myself out there. I've given my techniques, all my what I guess if you would say trading secrets out there, all during the course of my streams, and I've done it to the biggest reason I've done it is to help other traders. I find that personal journal entries, whether it be by video blog or even just by journals on, say, for example, Forex Factory, that nobody goes into really good detail of why and how they're taking their trades. They always just say, I entered here, I exited here, but why did you enter and exit there? What were the reasonings behind actually pressing that buy button and sell button? And I almost always go into the reasons behind why I do that, and I don't find a lot of traders do that. It may be because they don't want to give away their strategy or their technique, or maybe they just don't even know why they placed a trade there to begin with, at that specific price and that level. And that's what I've tried to change in this stream, or give something new, so traders have a better idea of a trader and his approach, the full picture instead of just bits and pieces of it. And with that, I've given a lot of honesty, and I haven't really held anything back. And the reason why is because I don't feel like that's how you should approach the market. You shouldn't just give yourself bits and pieces of it. You need the full picture in order to make good decisions. And you have to reinforce those decisions as well over and over again. And I've done that for quite a long while. I did it at forexsignals.com. And I was a streamer there for 3 months, and then I went to YouTube to continue that stream after a while. Now, I've had some losses here and there, my biggest one being on the election night when I really messed up by leaving one of my EAs on during the election. Now, uh, we all have mistakes as traders, and I displayed this time when it happened, when I lost 65% of my account, which was like $4,000 or $5,000, and I showed this. I actually showed the loss on screen. I apologize to the community with anybody that was trading with me at the time. It was a pretty bad error, and I look back on it as a really good learning experience. Now, um, with all that being said too, as well, I've tried to help as many people as possible during this process. Now I've traded at Oanda, I've traded at LMFX now, where you see my live account at $28,649. And then I also have my Oanda account, which is quite small at 1,068, which is still plugging along slowly. And I plan to come back to uh, Oanda at some point after I make a decent amount of profit at LMFX. The problem with LMFX is that it's not a regulated broker. Um, it's not regulated by the CFTC or the NFA, and so it's easy for it can be easy for them to run away with your money, and it would be harder to fight them or find the broker to actually get your money. Now we're always at risk at any broker. That doesn't matter if it's FXCM or Forex.com or uh, Telenex or any broker. It doesn't matter regulated or not. They can still steal your money. It can happen. And so we're always at risk no matter what. Okay, so yes, I may be at more risk than some other people out there, but I'm still at risk. But you are as well. At you're in some risk yourself, but obviously I'm more. So what I'm trying to say is that risk is unavoidable. So during the course of my streams, I've had some positive feedback. I've had some negative feedback. With trading, you're always going to come across traders or the community that is more skeptical of your trading technique than positive. And that just is kind of part of the game. You'll have people that dissect your methodology, your risk management, your trade entries, um, all the way down to the software that you're using or the broker. And it's just getting tiring. It's just getting tiring. And the negativity uh, is out at this point and has been for a while, overwhelming the positive. Yes, I have received some nice comments, but you guys got to remember, you always say, oh, just ignore these comments. Try to push on and don't worry about these negative comments. But honestly, I have no choice but to, because I'm doing this for free. So I'm only running off a positive attitude or positive reinforcement here. And so it's frustrating. Yes, it's frustrating to be getting this kind of reception. For example, where I place a video or post a video on YouTube, and uh, traders will be more likely to place a thumbs down without even finishing the video. Um, right off the bat than doing thumbs up, which I will eventually get later on. But I find it strange, and I find that maybe it's just some trolls that are coming in and placing negative votes. But why do that? I don't understand why somebody would just go to somebody's video to place a thumbs down without watching it. It seems a bit strange to me. But so yes, I do watch those things. Uh, like I said, because this is all about trying to help the community, and I feel like the treatment hasn't been great. And it's not just on YouTube or Forex Factory or ForexSignals.com. It's also on other forums where I'm getting made fun of because of the risk that I'm taking. But that risk that I took with some large trades was only because of a position that I got myself into where I didn't see a really good outcome. And so I needed to take the necessary steps to get out of that position without blowing up my account. And it was a mistake that I tried to correct, and I got lucky. Um, and I was made fun of because of that. And I understand why, but I'm just not going to take it anymore. It's annoying. So, guys, for those of you that have been watching and that have been giving me that some positive reinforcement, thank you for doing that. And I've been happy to create these videos. I'm passionate about forex. I enjoy trading, um, and I think this is the end of an era for me. So that's what the stream is going to be about. I'm going to sum things up. I'm going to show you what my trades were the last few days, what my strategy, a little bit more about my strategy, where I'm going after this, what my plans are, and why things are ending for the most part. So let's get into that. All right, so we have yesterday's trades. Now, this is probably what gave me the negative feedback after I posted this video, was because people are looking at this and they're thinking they instantly judge of that this looks ridiculous. They think, oh well, you have so many trades. Well, you're betting against a losing position. Um, why why put negativity towards something that you don't fully understand? And one, I'm taking small amount of risk on each trade, right? Okay. And yes, they are on a 20 pip grid, so they're 20 pips from each other. But that 20 pip grid can change based on the volatility of the candles. So if I'm receiving a lot of volatility, that grid will widen based on that. And I've tested the pound CAD over 10 years time with the strategy, trying to gain an idea of the pound cat's personality and how it ranges, trends, and during its flat periods, what causes it to move, price action, the candles, what they look like, what indicators do and do not work. And I found out over 10 years of testing that the pound CAD does go in large ranges where it will go up, down, up, like that, basically like that in a nutshell. Um, and there will always be, after a push down, uh, in most cases, there is some kind of pullback. So if there's a push down here, there was a pullback. The pullback wasn't quite enough for me to get out of these trades. Push down again, another pullback. Exit of my positions obviously happened there. So that's what I'm looking for. That's the type of personality that I've discovered with the pound CAD in its actual price movement behavior. Now, my entries are different than that. I actually have entries that are also that are just based on price action or the candlesticks themselves. So I enter on inside candles that after making a new low. So, for example, I think this was an inside candle here. New low, inside candle right after, and a potential entry of that pullback. So that's what I'm looking for, and that's where my entries are. And this has shown really positive results in my testing over the last 10 years on the pound CAD and the euro pound. Now, what that looks like is something like this, where I'm doing a test right now, where you have an equity curve like this. Yes, I do have places where I cut for losses. When I decide that the trade has gone against me enough, it's time to close out that position and let go of it and move on to the next opportunity, which you can see the recovery happens. So I don't have that many losses. They do happen, but they not very often. But I'm able to recover them because I give my trades enough space to move and to come into profit like you see on my account here. All right, so you can see that it closed out at $181 profit yesterday. Now today, I had an entry here after an inside candle setup. So push, new high, inside candle setup, entry on the next candle. You can see exactly where my entry is, and then it pushed down. Now I'm looking for 50 pips on this particular setup here, and it moved down 37 pips, so not quite what I was looking for, and it bounced back up. And it was using this area as a pretty good resistance point, shot back up during the course of the European session when I was sleeping. My EA entered another position at the top, and it came back down, and I exited out for profit at $208 profit. So 50 pips I took on these two positions. Okay. All right. So that's where I am at this point. So over the course of this week, I've come out with uh, just under $400. It's like 300 and well, 399 I think is what it is. So 50 pips today, 1 pip yesterday because of the mini basket trades that I had. So it still equaled out to be $181. So 0.64% profit yesterday, and then 0.73% profit today. The total of 5 lots out, and then a total of 1.2. So this is what my accounts look like since I've been back in at the broker since I redeposited. So 896. And as a whole, my count is looking like this. Okay, so I'm at 10% profit. I have had a 26% drawdown. That was during that mess up that I had that I corrected and got out with a lucky stream of trades. I've had $2,641 in profit. This is what my equity and balance curve have looked like. And today's profit, $208. So that's where I am with the account. Now, unfortunately, since this is my last stream, you won't be getting updates from me. I considered doing uh, trade updates just through video instead of streaming, but I think I'm going to do away with those as well. Um, so I'm going to continue to approach the market the same way. I'll be trading the euro pound and the pound CAD, and I understand their personality. I've done 25 years of research with the euro pound to make sure that my strategy fits and works with that personality of that pair over the course of 25 years. Um, and what that looks like, I think I've showed it before. Here's 7 years. Here's the 7 year test, and this is a really low risk. So actually, I think I want to show you the 10 to 15 year test. And I've showed this in many streams before, but this is the strategy that I'm using. This is the strategy that I created. It's not something that I've downloaded online and modified. This is the actual strategy itself. So this is something that I'll be using longer term. Just because it's worked in the past doesn't mean it will work in the future. But I have places where I cut off losses. Now, what's cool about this is that even though it has a good equity curve without showing many or any losses in general, I do have a loss in place to cut the account just in case things get bad. But it shows that the strategy is solid. It's worked over a long period of time. And I suggest that you guys do the same to make sure that your strategies have some kind of backing behind them, so you're not just going blindly into the market. So the pound CAD has moved during the news. Uh, so we are seeing, sorry. So positive, looks like we're seeing some positive, people are running with the bank rate as positive. I'm going to check the CAD. Yep, so the USD CAD is pushing down right now. So my positions would have been great to hold on to, my short positions, but I just take my standard profit at $208 and then move on, and I'm not worried or hurting that or annoyed that I missed out on it moving lower because it could be easily shot up from there. All right, so where am I going from here? Let me see if I have any questions just to make sure people are chatting. Nope. Okay, so uh, excuse me, sorry. All right, guys. I'm going to continue to trade. I'm going to continue to trade this account at $28,649.49, and I will continue to trade my account at Oanda as well. Uh, but I am looking to be a manager um, at a broker that I won't disclose here, because a lot of times I tell you guys information on the stream and it gets me into trouble. That's happened before too, um, where I told my stream that I was going to be managing a personal fund for somebody at a broker uh, that basically I shouldn't have been trading at. It was a gray area, and I knew that the broker wouldn't know that it was me trading, and mentioned about it in my stream. Now it was a mistake on my behalf, but somebody reported me, and I hadn't even started trading that account yet. Um, so they sent the video to that broker. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that it's not a friendly environment out here. Trading, it isn't. The Forex community is not a nice community. Yes, we can learn a lot of information, but what extent do we need to go to get that information? There are so many people getting kicked off of forexfactory.com, off of forexsignals.com as well, because of stating information or losing their tempers. Everybody just needs to, I guess, calm down and be more open-minded to different trading techniques. I find that the best traders, I'm not saying that I'm the best trader out there, but the best traders out there are more open-minded to any strategy. It doesn't matter if it's even martingale. At least try to be open-minded to see if there's any kind of backing or merit to using it. Um, and so that's what I'm trying to tell the community, at least the ones that are watching this video. Be more open-minded because your chances of finding an edge are a lot higher by doing that. If somebody online says, or that you saw on the Forex forum says, let your profits run and cut your losses short, question that. Don't just take that and think it as gold. You should do your own research to see if that actually is true or something that you should base your entire strategy off of. Because I've found that that idea is total garbage. Letting your profits ride and your cutting your losses short. In theory, that's great. Yeah, but the thing is that the market doesn't work like that. Your losses, cutting them short, they'll get hit more often, and that's a fact. If your loss is 20 pips and your profit is 50, your losses will get hit way more, way, plenty more times than your profits will, and that's a fact. Um, and people just don't understand how the market works. They try to put mathematics to things, and uh, they don't put two and two together. And I find that to be the case a lot of times. And that's why a good portion of traders lose in the market. So I don't want to bash you guys because I know a lot of you are open-minded, are nice, and respectful. Um, but since this is my last stream, I thought that I should get that out there to let people know why I'm leaving. And there has been good times and obviously not so good times. All right. So from here, I'm moving to uh, personal trading, which I'm doing right now, but I'll do it quietly. Um, and then I'm also looking to be regulated by the NFA to potentially trade others' accounts. It's going to take some money. It's going to take some time. I have to take some tests. I also am going to be doing some consulting as well on top of that for companies that I won't also mention, but they are substantial. I will be moving on towards more of a management side of trading, and it will be for potentially large accounts. I already have made some connections with banks I've already mentioned, like JP Morgan. And they have shown a lot of interest. It's not just JP Morgan, it's others on top of that, and it's because of the um, lucky connections that I've made over the course of these few years, but most of them have not come from my online presence. Actually, all of them have not come from my online presence. Most of them have come from personal contacts. Um, and so I'm not finding a lot of use. I'm not finding a lot of benefit from of doing this stream. I haven't gotten enough positive feedback. I haven't gotten enough in money from doing them. So I don't see a lot of benefit in doing them anymore. Um, so that's why I'm letting go of the streams and moving towards an area and trading that can be more beneficial by making connections with investors or with brokers or with banks and using strategies like I have here, where this is this kind of technique that I can show off and actually utilize. And the thing is that these banks and these hedge funds are looking for strategies like this, because strategies like this to them, they haven't really seen. This doesn't really They don't really trade strategies like this, for one, because they haven't seen them, but two, they think it's too good to be true. So what I do is I actually uh, turn the risk way down and actually can show a test or show results like this, where I'm actually only risking 15% of the account, but making 1% or roughly half to 1% per month on the each pair that I'm trading. So what I'm going for is a goal of 1 to 2% profit with not exceeding a 10 to 15% drawdown. And this is how I'm going to manage large funds in the future, is by managing the risk, but also the profit on top of that. And so everything fits into a good uh, oiled machine. And that's what you have to do when managing large funds of 20K or more. Um, and I understand that. So that's where I'm going next, and I'm happy to do so. All right. So guys, it's been awesome, and I have enjoyed these streams. It hasn't been all negative. And thank you again for your comments, the ones that I posted on the videos, trying to encourage me to continue. Uh, and I hope to maybe continue some of the contacts that I've made through my videos over the course of the last couple of years. Um, and hope to, if you have questions, please reach out to me personally. Um, and I will help you if you're trying to trade my strategy, or if you have questions in regards to money management or how I approach the market. But the idea is I approach the market in a way that is long term. I want to make sure that my strategies have backing behind them, um, and that I have a fail safe in place on top of that. And so I was hoping that that would get to come across to you guys as well, so you can uh, start looking at the market in a different way to potentially find an edge, either by using my system or using something like it, or potentially helping you with your own development of your system. Because I find that it's it's not the system or the trading technique that makes a good trader. It's the mind that the trader has, and if they're open to different strategies and different techniques, to get them thinking differently. Because different thinking is important in this market, because like I said before, such a the majority loses. It's said 95, maybe more percent of people lose in trading in the market, and it's because they're all following each other. A new statement comes out. I saw this the other day where NFP came out, uh, and that was last Friday, where even some of the best traders thinking that if the NFP was so negative, I mean, I can probably scroll back and show you what that looked like. It was really negative, and so traders were thinking, oh well, if it's negative, then I should be buying euro, like for example, euro US dollar, so I should be on the long side. Um, and I saw so many traders doing that, and just because a high impact news statement comes out that's really negative doesn't mean that it's actually the market's going to react in that negative way. So let me scroll back to so I can explain this better. Okay, so NFP. Is this the NFP? Yes. Unemployment rate. Uh, okay, so the unemployment rate was slightly lower at 4.5%, which is the lowest it had been in 10 years, I believe. And this number is what people were looking at, the NFP change, the 98K, which is way below the expectations, right? And so people were thinking, oh, sell USD, sell US dollar, and buy euro, or for example. And the USD continued to gain in value even with this. Why did it gain in value? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. One, because Trump is the president, and we don't know what's going to happen with that stuff. It's always it changes every single day. It's positive Trump, it's negative Trump, but there's reasons for that. And the biggest one I see is this number is the 4.5%. Unemployment is the lowest it has been in 10 years. So this number or that idea overwhelmed the 98K or underwhelming expectations of what the NFP was really supposed to was scheduled to be. And and so don't be so hasty to jump into the market so soon just because you see these numbers the way they are, because anything can happen. People are not looking at these numbers and thinking it's a news statement. I need to, and it's negative or positive, so react to it being negative or positive. You have to think about the overall picture of is is the U.S. Uh, a better becoming a better place to live, or is it becoming a worse place to live? Is this number, this 98,000 number being so negative, is that making the U.S. dollar or the conditions in the U.S. Not as valuable or not as good or negative? No, not necessarily because of the 4.55% being the lowest it had been in 10 years. So you got to watch your news statements and not take those drastic decisions or make those drastic decisions without getting the full picture. Okay? And I saw so many traders, so many good traders make that mistake and get into a bad position because they're thinking that, well, if the US dollar is pushing down, let me see if I can pull up the USD. So this is April 5th, 6th and 7th. Okay, so this was Friday. This was NFP right here. So this was the NFP candle. You can see it whipsaw. Now it jumped up and jumped down multiple times. And a lot of times when initially it pushes up, it will push down. But in this candle, it actually did that many times. It went up, down, up, down, up, down, and eventually it decided that it was headed down. And so many people even thought after the fact that it was going to push back up because the news was so negative, and it really didn't. It took a opening up into a new week in order for there to be some kind of pullback. Um, so you can't count on the market behaving the way or reacting the way you think it would based off of a news statement. Um, and you'll become a better trader if you likely try to avoid trading those kinds of news statements. Um, because at least you won't have something like a news statement potentially ruining your good position. Um, and I'm a strong believer in that. Okay, or finding a strategy that works through the news, that you can trade through the news, because we don't really know how the news is going to uh, cause the market to react. Is a positive news going to cause this to jump up, or is it going to cause it to jump down? And a good case for that was just this last NFP, showing you that the market doesn't always react the way you expect. All right, let me see if there's any extra comments coming in. Doesn't look like it. Uh, I know it's been a few days since, or 2 weeks probably since I've had my last stream, and so I'm not expecting a ton of traders today. So hopefully they'll eventually watch this stream after it's done. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today, guys. Nothing huge. Um, and I think I've pretty much stated pretty much what I wanted to in all of this. Um, where I'm going, what I'm doing, why I'm leaving, and and just wanted to thank those that have been strong supporters and in this process of uh, me trying to help educate in the way that I feel is the best market approach. All right. Well, thanks again, and I hope to see you guys maybe in the future. Let me know. Write me on YouTube, Skype, through email, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Meanwhile, I'm going to be at LMFX. I'll stay there until my account gets to about 40K, and then I will be leaving LMFX likely and going back to Oanda, and where I will stay with my personal account long term. And then I will probably open up an account at forex.com to expand my portfolio as well. All right, so have a good rest of the week, and I guess a good life as well. This is the last time I'll be here, um, and happy trading and good luck. See you guys.